Hello, everyone. This is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts. This is Prehistoric Facts special episode number 150, and there's 50 more to go till we get to 200. So we're going to be talking about a Tyrannosaur today, and that Tyrannosaur is Alioramus, or Alioramus, however you want to call it, and this is an artist rendition of what Alioramus might have looked like. So some information about Alioramus. Alioramus means different branch in Latin or Greek. Its length is 16 to 20 feet, or 5 to 6 meters. Height 7 feet, approximately 2 meters. Weight 500 to 1,000 pounds. Lived 70 million years ago in the late Cretaceous period. Found in Mongolia and found and described by Kurzonov in 1976. So a Russian pretty much actually found Alioramus. So in the upper left corner, you actually have here is the map of the Eastern Hemisphere, and you actually see the country that is highlighted in orangish red there. That's Mongolia. That's where Alioramus's fossils are mostly found. And here's a size chart on the upper right corner. You can see how big Alioramus really is. So it's kind of a small to medium size Tyrannosaur compared to the others and compared to a human. So it's a little bit taller than a human. And on the bottom, there's a picture of the skeleton of Alioramus. Now, the darker bones are actually bones that have not been found yet. And so this is actually an estimation of what the skeleton of Alioramus probably looked like. So majority of the skull was found. Uh, the hips were mostly found. The femurs are found. The ischium. And then you actually have the feet and a couple of vertebrae have been found, and majority of the neck has also been found. So this is pretty much like a less than 50% complete animal. More information about Alioramus. Now, Alioramus is a Tyrannosauridae, so it belongs to the Tyrannosaur family, and it belongs to its own family or subgene or sub category for Tyrannosaurs called Alioramini, and so it's part of the type of Tyrannosaurus that actually are somewhat different from other types of Tyrannosaurs. So Alioramus would actually have a long and thinner snout, so it's not going to have it's not going to have a very powerful bite force. It has more blade-like teeth than other Tyrannosaurs, so it's not, like I said, it's not going to have a very powerful bite. So it's probably more likely to actually shear meat off of the bones. They'll occasionally probably gnaw on bone, but they're not going to crush bone like some of the larger Tyrannosaurs. And its long legs, it has really long legs, and it possibly could have speeds between 25 to 30 miles per hour. So probably be in the same range as Albertosaurus. And then, and of course, like all Tyrannosaurs, it has great vision, great sense of smell, and great hearing. So it's got all the senses necessary to actually be a great predator. And another interesting thing about on the Alioramus skull, the nasal bones have got these bumps. So that probably means is that these bumps were probably for like kind of almost like horn-like structures that were on the nasals, and so that would actually indicate that those like that those like horn-like structures would actually be served as a display purpose to actually identify which is male, which one's female, and also identification of a species. So that sort of thing. The environment and where Alioramus actually lived in, it was warm and humid. There were some semi-arid areas, of course. There were some dry environments. There was trees, cycads, ferns, and flowers, and of course there was no grass during the time of the dinosaurs. And there were all sorts of animals that were around at the time of Alioramus. Insects, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, pterosaurs, birds, and of course other dinosaurs. Now we actually go to the competition and the prey. So let's start with what Alioramus would actually go after for their prey. It would probably be hadrosaurs. Hadrosaurs would probably one of the uh, most popular prey items for Alioramus. And of course, ornithomimids. Ornithomimids would probably be the #1 prey source for Alioramus. And of course, it would go after small ceratopsians, even the juveniles of some of the ceratopsians, and of course, carrion, who would be a scavenger as well. It would actually have to scavenge from time to time. But of course, the competition. What was its competition? Well, you have two large tyrannosaurs that probably lived near the same time, and so there's Tarbosaurus. Tarbosaurus is a larger tyrannosaur that lived around near the same time as Alioramus, and so Alioramus probably stayed clear from Tarbosaurus. And of course, there's possibly Zuchin tyrannus that was probably around at that time too. So Zuchin tyrannus would have been competition too, but mostly what Alioramus would actually be going after is basically its prey that it's going to go after, whereas Tarbosaurus and Zuchin tyrannus would go after like some larger prey, like the larger hadrosaurs, and also some of the other sauropods that were actually around at that time too. So they would be going after some of the sauropods. Now, the extinction of Alioramus, mostly it's going to be due to climate change, but it was beginning to get drier in the late Cretaceous as it get towards near the KPG event. But Alioramus possibly could have actually have lived during the time of the KPG extinction event, so it might have witnessed tsunamis actually uh, coming into the coasts of Asia and actually just basically just washing out a lot of animals into sea and also drowning some of these animals. But yeah, it would have been a very devastating event. And of course, the herbivores actually disappeared. That was pretty much what the reason why is for Alioramus to actually go extinct. And of course, the competition was probably a little bit mightier or stronger than Alioramus to actually adapt to the different changes in the environment. So that will probably be the other reason why Alioramus actually went extinct. And here's a map of basically in the KPG time frame, but Mongolia would actually be right up here in Asia, so probably right in the center of Asia. So it would actually have these like somewhat semi-arid and some woodland areas where Alioramus actually lived in. Now, the next episode will be on February 14th, 2020, so on Valentine's Day. It will be a Q&A episode, so if you got any questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com. Or go on my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you actually post your questions on the wall or in the comments section. And also for YouTubers out there, feel free to like, subscribe, and also submit your questions in the comments section. I do read them all, but remember, actually make sure you put at least 2 to 3 questions down at once. Because if you send me like 10 questions at once, I can't read them all. So I would actually choose the ones that would actually be worth actually answering. So, and make sure you like every single video that I actually post. That actually helps me out, helps the channel out, and also subscribe. You can actually get notified about the episodes that are actually coming each week, and that way you can actually keep up to date with all the episodes. And also keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. Also, take care of the people around you. And also, for younger people out there, to make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you can have a good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. And that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.